Hey everyone, welcome back. So the other day I was thinking, if I had to go back and start my terrain journey over again, what would be the number one thing that I would start with? And I think I found it. It's something that I actually got pretty close to the beginning of my journey, and it's also one of the more budget-friendly options in my opinion. So I want to go over it today and just kind of highlight it, and maybe it's something that you've heard of or you've seen, something you were unsure if it'd be helpful or not, or maybe you're looking for the first time to buy something for your game to kind of just put some terrain on the table. So I hope this review can help you.
The Masters Atlas World Crafting Tiles.
The name is kind of long and epic sounding, but this box is pretty amazing. These tiles are great. I like them better than just a generic floppy rolled out gridded mat because they come in different sizes and they're pre-cut, so you can use them as is, or you can just build rooms like on the fly with them. It's pretty awesome. All right, let's take a look what's in the box.
What's in the box?
So here we have the box itself, the Masters Atlas World Crafting Tiles. 48 map objects included. So let's take a look inside. I have some of the pieces out right now, but this is kind of a good example of what comes in. You have these large square pieces. All of them have the grid. They're double-sided, so you have white on one side and this kind of like parchment look on the other. But so you get a lot of these giant big square pieces. They also have other sizes, so you get little squares here. They're also double-sided. And then there's also a third sizing, which are these rectangles. Which are nice. So if you want to build like hallways or corridors, that's usually what I use those for. It comes with objects, so it has these tables. So if you need to build a tavern, they're handy. It also comes with stairs. So one side is up and one side is going down. We also have doors. One side is a big wooden door, the other side is a stone door. They're pretty cool. I like the, simplistic art. Also has round tables, which are pretty cool. Has, of course, treasure chest. One side is an open treasure chest and the other side is closed. And it has a bunch of these random markers, like with a sun on one side is colored in, one side is not. So really you could just use that for anything to mark on the map. It has a campfire, one side with an extinguished campfire, and the other side is with a lit campfire. Has other little accessories like this little satchel, which is the same on both sides. Also has like a little money sack looking item, or it could be a bag of holding or any kind of sack. All right, so let's move this to the side, and I'll just show you a quick example of how easy it is to build like a quick encounter with these things. And you throw some minis down, and look at that. You got a perfect little encounter just ready for your players. And it took like no time at all to throw this together. So it's super easy to just build right during the game. It doesn't really distract. It's not like you have to take a ton of time to like pause the game and make a map. And I like this over your traditional battle mat where you have to draw everything. I don't know, it just feels a little more solid, if maybe that's the word I'm looking for. I don't know. Just feels a little more 3D in a way because you're actually building each room rather than drawing them out. So let's say they leave the bad guy's lair and they head back to town and they go to a tavern. So here's an example of another thing that I like about the versatility of these, that they have the double sides. So what we can do is we'll say the white area is the interior of the tavern, and then the parchment side, that's the exterior. So it's a nice, quick, easy way to differentiate indoors from outdoors, or maybe one layer from another layer, whatever you want to use it for, upper or lower level. It's really great. So we'll say the parchment area, that's outside, white, that's inside the tavern. Throw down some tables, some patrons, put the front door on the tavern. Maybe they have a little money bag there, they have a transaction. We can say there's a fireplace in the back of the building there. Maybe put a guard at the front of the tavern door. And honestly, this stuff is great. If you want to like spice it up, you can just throw down some of your 3D terrain. So let's say you have some pillars. I like the Dwarven Forge pillars because they have the LED accessories in them, so they just make any map look cool. So there's some pillars with some lanterns outside. You got some trees, and you could easily build this on the fly, or you could build this before the game. If you know that they're gonna have like an encounter in the tavern, this would be so easy to prep beforehand, or a dungeon, whatever you want to do. And here's these pieces. So one side is a broken pillar, and the other side is a log, which is pretty cool. Well, we'll just throw that outside. Why not? Maybe there's some maybe if they do an investigation check and they look inside of the hollowed out log, they find a magic item or a clue or maybe a plot hook that sends them on a grand epic journey. Throw some more tables into the tavern. Get our patrons nice and lined up. Throw some pillars. That way there's some obstacles inside the tavern just for some cover if there's a fight. But yeah, they work great. So if you have like a tiny collection of 3D stuff or an existing collection of that, I feel like these work really well to spice things up. And they work great without it. You honestly don't need the 3D terrain. They're great just by themselves. And just like that, we have a quick and dirty tavern encounter. So here's the other thing, everything's kind of loose in the box. I think that's the one and only drawback. So everything kind of just shakes around randomly. So if you travel a lot, it might be annoying. I don't leave my house too often to DM, so thankfully I can just kind of keep it in its box. But if you did travel a lot, I would maybe recommend finding another storage solution. I might even find like a way that I can organize the tiles a little better to make them more practical. So in summary, I really feel like these tiles have a lot of bang for their buck. They're super useful for building a dungeon as your players explore. I'll throw a link in the description of where you can find them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment of something else you want me to review. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Keep building.